Nano. What's going on? Sky Masters. We are still playing No Man's Sky in 2022. Now, I think there is a lot of great things about the game. I also think there's a lot of bad things about the game. Overall, I've gotten my money 20-fold, but I can still have opinions in the directions of where they've gone. And I think you're probably wondering, why does this guy's opinion matter to me? You know, who is this guy, Sky Masters, and why should his opinion matter to me? Well, I've been playing the game almost since the very beginning. I've played it on Xbox. I've done some PS4 play, enough to have a control of it, not throughout the history solidly, but the Xbox and PC have experienced the game in many different ways with different points of views. And I can tell you that I've done these weird tests too. So I have a standard test that I use, standards that I get because the worlds have changed and reset a few times within the game. But I'll take 20,000 pyramids and I'll put them on a dead moon that have no other graphics to try to compete with, or at least as possible. Dead moons seem to be the best thing, you know, and then I lay down these 20,000 pyramids and I see what spawns in. I mean, that's as standard as of a test that I could think that I could do. And I have a file that I have. It's just there's half this way and half this way. It's just a wall. And I will set this up within the game. And I go into the game and I look. Now, obviously 20,000 pieces are probably not going to render. I think I've almost had them almost all the way rendered in before, though, way back in the day. But slowly, as I've done this test, after each update, what I do is I put this on a dead moon, and now this piece is missing. Next update, I put this in on a dead moon, and now only half that wall is up. The next update came in. I put in my 20,000 pieces. Now, after this last update, I'm only getting the floor piece. So, 10,000 less than that, and compared to 15 plus before. So that's a big hit. Same could be said with frames per second. And I think this kind of translates to whatever. If I'm missing a certain percentage of my frames per second, or I took a big hit, so did you. And I think some systems will automatically, will adjust themselves. So they might be compromising settings without you even knowing on consoles or whatever. That would be interesting to know. And I've seen a big hit on Xbox. So when I started on there, it looked great. And it's just I lost 70% of its value to me on the Xbox. So much that we won't even turn it on down there. My wife got into the game right after it was Prisms. Prisms came in. Oh, Prisms. All right, so all their visual enhancements. Okay, let me tell you what visual enhancements were. It was dirty glass because the glass was too shiny and everything couldn't handle all the other enhancements. So what they did was they dirtied some glass. They took some of the texture files, and instead of making like a nice three-dimensional thing that was like a flat piece of graphic that would be orientated towards the point of view. That's a smoke and mirror tricks, folks. I mean, maybe you guys don't know this, but that is a smoke and mirrors tricks, and it was a step backwards in some of the cases in the game. Okay, so that's a drawback, a setback, and a compromise for what I call garbage. Anyway, there's a lot of value to have in the game, but there's a lot of gripe. Like I said, I think you should buy it, but I think the most enjoyment you're going to get is on a PC. A higher end PC, you want 1070s or higher. A 1080 will kill it at 1080p. 1070 pretty much does it too, with some really good optimization. With that being said, I think it has got a lot of things that warrant some some talk, and I think people just don't do it. I think fans have a problem with speaking out against things, and Hello Games has done some weird things. So like in the very beginning, they, you know, they had that issue, and I think Sean kind of withdrew into himself, and he didn't want to deal with everything, so he just became this strong silent type, which was good in the beginning. I mean, I think that worked out for him, but then at some point in time, I think the overhype just started hurting the game because the updates were getting great and great and great, and it was like, you know, there's all those bugs, and we were like, we worked for this greatness. And this is what I'm talking about, the ebb and flow. So update comes out, garbage, all kinds of just, oh, there's bugs and updates, and there's hot patches and everything coming in, and that's a really bad time for a lot of new players to come in because they're going to have a really bad experience. So all that hype for the pre-release of an update gets all these new players into a game that's got all these bugs in it, and there's just this stew of just inconsistency, and just some people having the greatest time, some people having the worst time, everybody arguing about it, you know, and that's, you know, not cool. I don't think so. I mean, you could just come out and be like, hey, the update's coming out. We have it in beta right now on PC. Those boys are working out whatever kind of issues that they have on there, and then we're going to release it. This was going to be buggy for a little bit, and then like maybe later on, like hey, you know, a couple weeks after the release, then like really hit some PR and go after it. If this is your style of how you do things, you're going to release something that needs a lot of beta testing and a lot of fixing. Don't let the content creators be your overhype advertisement. You know, that's a poor decision on you, Sean, and Hello Games. Yeah, I think that's very bad. And they're still doing that till this day, and it's a bad tactic. Come out and tell us everything. Be transparent with your fans a little bit. I don't know, man. That's a tough one there. That's a tough one. Also, you know, going back to this game, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This game should have been on PC only. I'm going to say that again. This game should have been a PC-only game. It would be way beyond its time. Imagine all these mods and all the modders stuff. Imagine what Sean Murray plays. See, you console players and everybody else, I mean, the only people that kind of know what I'm saying is people that have maybe experienced this modded, or if you haven't, don't be jealous or anything about something that you don't have. Go check out some modded gameplay. Go check out like Red Moss and stuff, and you know, there's all kinds of people that have done great things with the game. Ray Rod's got his own little world out there, you know. We've all been waiting for that for forever. Come on, Ray Rod. Get your world together, bro. You need some help? Call me. Call me, bro. You know. You know, and then Woody Montana slamming it out with a hybrid of like the very foundations of the game mixed in with some new stuff that just blows your mind. So if these guys are out there that can manipulate the game, I imagine Sean can just do it live and tweak some thingies and go back in there and just have the hugest ravines and mountains and hugest animals and just whatever he wants, you know? And yeah, I mean, we get that on PC, but I'm limited by modding, and then you're limited by updates and stuff like that because it breaks, because we need updates every time, and there's that ebb and flow, But let me tell you, it seems to be a mismatch of how much ebb to flow. The ebb and flow, the tide keeps going back out. We're losing water, folks. We don't have much more room to lose within the game before it just stops even running on an Xbox, you know? So, will you get your value out of the game? It's on sale a lot. I mean, $20. You're going to go for $1 per hour played. I mean, you're going to get a good, you're going to get your money's worth out of it, no matter what. But on a deeper level, if you're like into an investment to live a game, because it's an open world game, it's got a lot of things to it. I think you're going to get upset, and I might say bored and bland. after a while. You know, I think it's great for 500 hours. Vanilla by itself, to me. After that, I probably would have stopped playing if I was not on PC and if I didn't have mods and I couldn't manipulate the files. You know, we have the save editor, we have Blender, and we have all this other cool stuff that just really, really is cool about how kind of open source the game is. They need all the help. I love the developers. I love what they've done. They've made some bad choices. I don't know if they're trying to please shareholders or what the story is of why. So I can't just put a lot of, you know, I don't know, let's say like not anger or anything, but just, you know, disappointment, I would say. I'm not super disappointed because I've gotten my money's worth, but definitely disappointed in what is wasted potentials is what I would say. The game has a lot of potentials, even on a basic level, even if it was just for Xbox and consoles, even low end. What did we all really want in the beginning? Just a little bit of diversity and some building parts, maybe some custom ships. That was all modded way early in the game and was easily done. And I think we'd all be happier right now if we just had a little bit of biome diversity, a lot more parts, and we know they can do that. I mean, they shammed a whole bunch of parts in this last update at us with the settlements and all the what is it? The 1800s wagon wheels and stuff like that, and cement mixers. Like, that makes some sense. That's what we wanted. Give us some real futuristic stuff. Give us some moving parts. Give us some really crazy stuff, man. Give us some clear glass. Take away some of all that other garbage that forced you to use the smoke and mirrors to get to that garbage point. Get rid of all that stuff. Bring it back. That's what I would say. Or leave the game is right now for low-end specs and release the beast for the next generation. And keep it open source for the modders and stuff like that, so we can keep on tearing this game up, because I'm getting some new cards soon, and I'd like to really dig into this thing even more, so see how much we can fit in there. Maybe make some cities, actually. I think the next version of whoever picks this up, it is going to be wicked and mind-blowing. And you can always remember that Sean Murray and Hello Games were the forerunners of this, I think. I mean, there was other procedurally generated things, but nobody's done it like this. So with that being said, man, great strides have been done, great respect, but I can still say I'm disappointed with some of the decisions. Anyway, that is my love-hate rise, fall, rise, fall, rise, fall, rise, fall, ebb and flow of the game. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next universe.